And here we go. Wow. Awesome, 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 awesome. Great to see you. Great morning, everybody. Of course, I'm going to do my standard intros, and I'm going to say great morning to everybody. I'm just really excited to be here, and I want to thank you for just putting up with that slide for the masterclass. It's going to be coming up in September. And normally I wouldn't start off that way, but as technology sometimes have it, we start sometimes where it puts us, right? But that doesn't mean we have to end there if the technology is bad. I hope that you're all able to see that, because I'm very, very excited to come to you in September on this masterclass. I consider it to be my first masterclass. I did one a few months ago, but now I'm looking forward to really kind of like just coming in and adding a ton of value, really sharing my story, and helping you all with these steps to reframe negative thinking into what I believe is a positive self-image, where you are not thinking about scarcity, but you're more on along the lines of abundance, self-investment, um, commitment, changing your life, being better, doing better, and just helping the cause, which is your own. All right. So that being said, I see you over at Instagram, and I'm going to say hello. Welcome everybody. FBOGs, MRPOGs, YTOGs, IGOGs, and I see you. I see you, DC. Welcome. I see you, Trinidad. Welcome. I see you, Long Island. I see you. I see you. I see you. Yep, I see you. And I see you, Strong Island. It is amazing and awesome to see each and every one of you. I want to thank you all. I hope you've had a great week. Excuse me. I hope you've had a great week. And I hope that you're enjoying your summer. And thanks for last week's love, prayers, concerns, comments, and all of the support uh, that I received last week. I really just needed to take that time out and just love up on me a little bit more, because I hadn't been doing so. And you know, everybody is always talking about self-love, and certainly everyone needs to take care of themselves. I know I need to take better care of myself so I can get out here and help so many other people out here who I'm called to help. And so I'm grateful for you. Okay, I saw you. I commented back to you. I hope you saw that. And if you didn't, just hit me up with another comment saying, Mitch, you need a comment. Okay, I will. So if you're grateful for a brand new day, just put it in the comments, and just let me know where you're coming in from, as I see you already have. And today we are going to set our sights on 6 common signs of a self-image crisis. Again, this is going to be 6 common signs of a self-image crisis. I'm just going to head back over to Facebook for a quick minute. I see you. I see you. I see you, JH. I see you, because I'm not exactly sure where you're at. So I'm just going to call you JH. All right. Okay. Let's kind of go back now. And I want to tell you guys the reason why we're doing 6 common signs of a self-image crisis is because I just wanted to be real with you and kind of share my story, because this is very personal to me, where things actually start. And really, the reason why I am on this platform to begin with, and the reason why calling and knowing your calling and being able to address personal issues in your life and help other people through those personal issues is so important. My story actually kind of starts really when my mom's passing, which was March 10th, 2020. And a year later, I was at a business conference in a hotel in Las Vegas. It was early in the morning. I will not forget this. It was before sunrise. I had to go to the bathroom, but I felt like I was almost pulled. You know how like you get this calling, and I felt really like I was literally pulled to the mirror, because as I went to go to the bathroom, I passed by the vestibule mirror in this hotel room, and this was October 17th that morning. And I looked at myself. I stopped and looked at myself, and I really kind of just, I did not recognize myself. I did not recognize myself. I felt like I lacked energy. I felt like I did not look right. There was something not right about my body. I was really unsatisfied with it. I was really unhappy with the place that I was. And even though it seemed like, yeah, it should be a great occasion because it's a business conference, it didn't mean that I didn't have challenges. And it didn't mean that I really didn't feel like myself at that moment. And I was wondering, how unhappy can you be with you right now? What is really going on? Why don't you see that spark in your eyes? Why don't you feel that spark like you normally do, that you're always presenting to people? And I always presented a big smile and a really great attitude. At least I believe that I did. And sometimes we're doing that to the detriment of ourself, because what we don't realize is it's a cover up. It's a cover up. It's a cover up. And I'm not going to say whether it's a 90% cover up or a 50% cover up. It doesn't really matter. What matters is how you feel. And what certainly matters to me is how I felt that morning. And I just resolved, I said, I don't like the way I look. I, I definitely don't, but I'm going to resolve to make some changes. I didn't have a plan. I returned to New York. I did make some changes that morning. I started doing started getting in and doing some push-ups and some prayer and some breathing and just some kind of stuff that would help me unpack what was going on in that moment. And I felt better during the day, and I saw people, of course, and I really felt like I had achieved something. But when I returned to New York, I realized I came back without a plan, and I needed one. Um, but I was really determined to do something, because you always have to do something in those cases. You just don't want to not to not show up. You have to do something. You have to make changes, and you have to know the moment that you're in. And that moment that I was in, I'm so grateful that around that time, um, that my mentor, Darren Walker, D. Walker Inspires, gave me a call to tell me about a program that he had created called The Icon Within. And that program I joined. And it was one of the things that I did that pointed me towards greatness, um, and really helped me to become more productive, to become stronger, to eliminate distractions. Uh, it helped me to focus a lot better on my life. And it took me to what I would believe is next level greatness. We always have different levels that we're aspiring to and we're going to. And that definitely boosted me. It wouldn't be too long. I would have some more issues and some problems, but I really rose to the occasion of where I was at that point. Um, Again, a little bit later on, there would be more challenges and more problems, but there was going to be a second program that was going to be created because I was really kind of burning out. I was on the tail end of that program as well. And again, Darren to the rescue, honestly, the Be Iconic community to the rescue. And I kind of locked into that. I locked in reluctantly. He did tell me about it. I was really kind of like at a thinking and a point of thinking in my life, with scarcity mindset, with a very unconfident way of looking at things, a very settled way of kind of like, okay, no, I'm going to kind of like stick with my career. This is safe. And I knew that really was not the place for me, but again, it was safe. And I had plenty of other things going on in my life at that point in time. I was not thinking about investing in me. I was really thinking about how can I live? How can I just live right now and still do great things, but how can I live? And really, if you want to live and do great things, you have to sometimes sacrifice and go to the next level with things, and you have to trust. And that was really what created the catalyst for me, was to trust, especially after you encouraged me to throw my heart over the bar one more time. I said yes, joined an iconic community, started walking my purpose. Um, Really, and it just made a totally big difference in my life. I like to think and credit that as saving my life. And if you can relate, kind of like, I want to see you kind of put it in the comments, because this is really where I was, and this is really the start of a story for me that would point me in the direction of more in the direction, I believe, certainly point me in the direction of image and self-image, which is kind of like what I really wanted to talk to you all about today. So that being said, I want to thank you all for allowing me to share my story. I want to thank you for listening. Um, Really, when I tell you that it has made a difference, it has made a difference, because without this story and without the understanding that this was going to be my calling, and I really didn't even know at that time what was going to be my calling, that this would be my calling. Without that story, without this calling, none of us are having this conversation together. I can assure you of that. I am 100% sure of that. But I'm so grateful that God would have it, that it would be for purpose. And this is my purpose as an image strategist. So that being said, I'm Mitch Race. And I'm an image strategist, and I help seasoned middle-aged men and some women, believe it or not, out of distraction. I help you all to overcome your distraction. I help you all to become the best version of yourselves while earning your high level income to do that's past that surpasses your image or matches your image. And that's what I do. I help you to overcome that self-image, that thing that's stopping you from next level greatness, the distractions. I help you gain clarity and vision so that you can find your purpose. Um, in a nutshell, that's what I do. And I'm so grateful to be here. And again, thank you for allowing me to share my story with you. So now let's go into the podcast, shall we? Okay. 6 common signs of a self image crisis: signs, causes, and coping strategies. I'm going to do a brief unpack, and then we're going to go. A self image crisis or distorted self image is a period of significant unhappiness with oneself, often stems from low self esteem, constant self criticism, discouragement between one's internal perception and external reality. It manifests itself as anxiety, depression, or it can manifest itself as anxiety, depression, loneliness, and a sense of worthlessness. And it may be triggered by childhood experiences, social media comparisons, or significant life events. As you heard, I had one of them. To cope, individuals can practice self compassion, challenge negative thoughts, focus on small positive differences they make, small wins. I would call one of those small positive differences. Um, Anything that you can possibly imagine that you've achieved that you make, and seek support from positive relationships. So, the 6 common signs of a self image crisis or low self esteem include persistent negative self talk, social withdrawal, and avoidance of new experiences, people pleasing tendencies, and a lack of personal boundaries, constant comparison to others, difficulty accepting praise or making decisions, and a fear of failure. And I see that many of you can already relate to parts of the story and to and to some of these. Signs of a self-image crisis. Negative self-talk is when you engage in frequent self-deprecating internal conversations. Low self-worth, when you're feeling fundamentally flawed, unlovable, or undeserving of happiness. Emotional distress, when you're experiencing ongoing unhappiness, dissatisfaction, anxiety, or depression. Social withdrawal, feeling isolated and avoiding social interactions. Negative perceptions, looking for facts that confirm negative beliefs about oneself, and difficulty accepting compliments, believing praise is undeserved or insincere. I'm sure that you've heard me mention a number of times that I had difficulty accepting compliments, and I believed that praise was undeserved, that I did not deserve that, and that it was often sometimes just insincere from people like, no, okay, thank you, you're welcome, and that's not the case. Okay, so those were some signs. Now I want to talk about some of the causes of the self-image crisis. Childhood experiences. That would be past neglect, abuse, bullying, or lack of parental support, even. That can contribute to a self-image crisis. I grew up with a couple of these. Okay, bullying, certainly for one. I had no dad. I was raised by a single mother, but let me tell you this, that I'm still grateful for the things that she gave me because they contributed to a positive self-image for me. So what I'm grateful for is that I didn't allow this to make me a victim, that this would be victory for me. This is not everyone's story. There are people that still have childhood experiences, and I'm sure that we do. They come up in different ways. They manifest themselves in different ways, and they disguise themselves as other things. So it makes it hard sometimes to actually make the unpack that that we should or that we could. So, but everybody's experiences are different. Everyone grows up different. Everyone um, grows up in different environments, and so some of the causes that I'm going to list, they may not be yours, but they certainly are someone else's, and you can pick them up in other pieces and other people. Some of them you will be able to relate to. Social comparison, constantly comparing oneself to others, particularly on social media, which presents an unrealistic view of life. Social comparison can deeply impact one's self-image and create a self-image crisis. And I'm going to dive in on this just a little bit to say that I pay close attention to things that are said and things that are posted, and people that are on social media making many social comparisons that they don't understand that that their own self-image has been impacted and at risk. And I'm not saying that because I'm the know-it-all. I'm saying that because I'm in my calling, and I believe that I have this, and I do believe that I have a gift, and it is my gifting to be able to see some of the things that people don't see inside and outside of themselves. So when I talk to you about this, I'm not talking about this to be critical. And I'm not saying that you don't know yourself, because it is important that we do know ourselves. But it's also important for you to understand that, again, many of these things that create social image crises, they go under the radar. They go undetected. You can't see them. Other people can see them in you and on you, but you can't see them. And it takes, I think, a mature spirit and a move of God, and even just your own personal discomfort with where you are to move to the next level, so that you can begin to see that there is some social comparison going on, that there are some things going on in your self-image that others see, and that I now need to be mature enough And I'm hoping that I am, to be able to step forward and learn more about me, find me, discover me, learn. That's the value of this podcast. That's one of the reasons why I do show up the way that I do, and that I do show up regularly to talk about these issues, because I want to see people actually helped. And I'm not afraid to speak to you about it. So don't you be afraid. And even if you are, I pray for courage for you to start coming to the forefront on some of the things that I speak about, because I know that I'm not speaking to deaf people. I know I'm not speaking to blind people. And if I am, then okay, now's the time for us to hear and to see, so that we can become better. And that's what I am attempting to do. Not to discredit anybody, not to bring anyone down, but to bring you up and to bring you out and to bring you forward towards the next best version of yourself regarding your self-image, your self-esteem, your confidence, knowing your value, unpacking your value. If you're invisible, I help there too, because I see you. I have been there. So that's social comparison in regards to one of the causes of a self-image crisis that somebody may be having. Life stressors. Life stressors. Major events like divorce, moving, or chronic health issues can impact self-perception. The passing of my mom certainly did impact my life, and it created some stress for me. I obviously did. And that was leading me up to my self-image crisis. I'm not going to say specifically that was it. But what I will say is that that certainly was enough to lead me in that direction. Now, during that whole time, oddly enough, after my mom passed, I was hanging out. I was probably doing a lot more than I needed to do. I was probably doing too much in some cases. And all of that catches up to you. All of it catches up to you, because you think that you think that you're okay. And again, that's the thinking that we have sometimes. Your brain is very smart. Your brain is very smart. Sometimes it can outthink you. That's why you have to get around other thinking. That's why you have to learn. That's one of the reasons why I talk about investment, and I'm not afraid to talk about investment. People think it's a dirty word. Clean it up. Okay? Let's clean it up, because it's not a dirty word. Investment in yourself means just that. I was afraid to invest in myself, and I'm not afraid to say that I was. I just did not think that I had the money. I didn't think I had the time. And I just honestly thought that I was okay. I kind of was like, okay, I'm going to settle and I'm good. But I had to invest something. I had to invest my time. I had to invest trust. That's not money. That's time. Time is time and money is money. But I had to invest because I wanted more time, and I still want more time. And I still want more out of life that it has to offer, including making a living. But you want that too. So that's why I'm here to talk to you specifically about this, about self-image crisis, because I know how a life stressor can lead to things like a scarcity mindset, can lead to lower confidence, can lead to mistrust. And I get it. So that's what led to mine. There are people on here, hardship, Coach Sonia Dungy. I wonder what her self-image story and journey is in this, because everybody has one. Look at Coach Don Allen, body image. What do you think her story was? Coach Tennille Stewart with lupus, who was amazing in the lupus community. How about Coach Tony Smith, Anthony Smith, Dollars and Cents? He had a crisis that possibly led to some self-image crisis on some level. I'm sure that it did for all of us. So we all have a story in this because we've all had life stressors, because we all stress in life sometimes. And that's the God honest truth. It really is. So, yeah, I got choked up for a minute there. Told you. But it's okay. It's okay to realize your moment that you're in. And I'm grateful for the moment that I'm in. So I want to thank you again for listening. Internalized criticism. And yes, there are other coaches out there, yes, that offer the same value in terms of the experiences that they've been through too with their life stressors. That has created a journey for them. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Internalized criticism as a precursor to a self-image crisis. Internalized negative messages or failing to challenge one's own inner critic. Learn how to develop strategies and stand up to your inner critic, because there are strategies that can help you to accomplish that. Let's talk about some of those coping strategies now, because this is where I think that a lot of the value is going to come to help you all. And I see your comments, and we're going to go over this, and the podcast will be a little bit later than it normally is, but I'm okay with it if you are. Let's just bring the value to those of you who need this help. So let's talk about practice self-compassion as a coping strategy. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, acknowledging that it's normal to have ups and downs. It's a-okay. Okay. Life is cyclical. Cyclical, that's the word. Life is cyclical. It goes up and it goes down. There are ebbs and there are tides. There are peaks and there are valleys. But if you practice self-compassion as you go through those things, that's going to help you to overcome. And it's going to help you to build strength and resilience in your self-image. Challenge negative thoughts all the time. All the time. Okay. Challenge negative thoughts. Actively work. Actively to replace critical self-talk with more supportive and realistic thoughts. I can guarantee you, if you actively work to replace critical self-talk with more supportive and realistic thoughts, that thinking will also translate better in how you treat others. So it's a win-win for you. It's a big win for you, because understand that some of you out there need to treat others better. And it's just a fact. I know that I can do a better job in that. And if I'm going to hold myself accountable, I'm going to hold you accountable too. So challenge negative thoughts, because some of that is just stinking thinking, and negative thoughts have to go. It has no place, honestly, in your life. It's not going to make you better. It's not going to make other people better. Elevate your state of mind, your thinking about yourself and others. Be forgiving. Let it go. And I'm saying this from a spirit of wanting to see you better and thriving. That puts you in the catbird seat to be better and to, just to be better, be a better human being, positioned for growth, on a fast track to success, a trajectory somewhere up. Focus on small positives. Acknowledge the small positive contributions you make to yourself and others. Please do, because you've made contributions that you've forgotten about. And they serve you much, much better when you recall them and you share them and you experience the joy and happiness that they brought you, because they brought you somewhere. Don't forget what you've done. Don't discount what you've done, how you've helped people. And don't discount that other people have done too. Focus on the positives, the small positive contributions, because we've all made contributions somewhere. Let's not forget that. Limit comparisons. Avoid comparing your life to others, those highlight reels, especially those on social media. Okay. Don't short circuit. Feed off the right stuff. You get it? Don't short circuit. See what I did there? Yeah. That was pretty cool. But don't feed off the right stuff. Feed off the right stuff. There's plenty of stuff out here to laugh at. There's plenty of stuff out here to be entertained by. But make sure that your diet, your social media diet, has a real healthy plate of good stuff out there that supports you, that supports your initiatives, that supports your drive, that supports an agenda that's going in a positive direction for you, that's going to position you greatly. Okay. Give it time. That's another thing. Give it time. There's one more I have to go over to. Actually, there's two more, but give it time. Recognize that changing self-image is a gradual process, and be patient with yourself. Pace yourself. Be loving, be kind, work towards confidence so you can begin to see in your mind's eye that you can make it. Work towards confidence so you can begin to see in your mind's eye that you can make it and you will make it. Be positive. Prayer is a good place to start too, by the way, but give it time. Seek positive support. That's the one I wanted to go back to. Spend time with people who uplift and make you feel your best. And to that one, I also want to add, when you spend time with people who uplift you and make you feel your best, uplift them and make them feel their best too. See, what I really want people to see a little bit more is that there are win-wins. Win-wins in forgiveness, win-wins in sharing with other people, win-wins in being transparent with other people, and win-wins when you go back to the table and say, hey, look, check this out. I was wrong about this. There are win-wins, because that is going to boost your self-image. It doesn't take away from who you are. And I'm not asking people to go groveling and being all apologetic and being this and being that. If that's where your mindset is, please give me some grace and give yourself some grace and give that other person some grace. And you know that's right. Professional help. This will help you avoid a self-image crisis or take you through it if that's where you are, because not everything works for everyone, but this is something that could work for you. If you're struggling, really struggling, because it could be deeper, it could be very, very deep. I am not a doctor. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a psychologist. I'm going to put that out there so that other people know that. So you can't say that that guy told me to. I'm a podcaster. I'm a self-image strategist, and I'm really good at what I do and who I am. And I'm very, very supportive. And I'm very confident in what I offer. But there are certain things and certain boundaries that I have. If you need professional help, I'm going to urge you to seek professional help, seek professional guidance, seek professional support, because it may also include medical. As coaches, as podcasters, as authors, we do a lot, but we can't do it all. And we're not assigned to do it all. We have to walk in our calling. And that's what my intentions are, to walk in my calling to help you the best way I can by being the best person that I can who shows up for you. So that being said, that is the unpack of all of that. And I hope that you have gotten great value. And I am going to go over comments because I know that there are a lot of comments here in this section. Okay. So let's start by going to Instagram a little bit. I may not read them all, but I will try to get through as many as I possibly can. I want to thank you again for being here on the Mitch Race podcast. So let's start here with Strong Island. Looking forward to having you as a guest on the Sonia Dungy podcast on Wednesday. That's not a shameless plug, by the way. Okay. But I am grateful that she said that. And I'm really, really honored to be a guest on the Sonia Dungy podcast on Wednesday. I really am. So thank you, Sonia Dungy, Coach Dungy. Let's go to DC. Magic message words with magic words this morning, Mitch. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to thank you so much, DC. Phenomenal value, says Strong Island. Again, let's go to Trinidad with value. Yes, I'm so glad you got value, Trinidad. Yes, thank you again, DC. Mitch, you are absolutely correct regarding social comparisons creating image crises. Yes, and I'm really concerned about that, particularly as we continue to go forward in these challenging political climates as they are, and particularly with a lot of younger folk too. I'm concerned about the older folk and middle-aged folk, but I'm really concerned about how younger folk still, they haven't figured out the comparison, how social comparison really works, and how it makes them feel, and the damage that it is actually doing in a lot of the things that they post in the way that they post it, and the way that they see it. And that's not a dig, that's an observation. So if anyone goes out there and says that I said this about younger people, not true. It's not a dig, it's an observation. The two are different. I'm offering an observation, and we can offer an impact any other way you want to. We can talk about this. Maybe you could even be a guest. But we're talking about an unpack, and we're talking about having a conversation about an observation, and something that I think is very recognizable across the board. Phenomenal topic today. People really need to listen attentively to. Thank you so much. I'm praying and believing that that's what will happen today. You're welcome. I'm glad that I could share my story and bring some transparency to my life. Self-love, which one is this? Is so very crucial. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Strong Island. And I am going to bounce over, and yeah, I'm going to bounce over a minute over to Facebook. Give me a second because I'm bouncing over. There's always something going on Facebook. Let's see how we do this. Oh, yeah, here we go. To see about the comments here. Yeah, there are plenty of comments. Thank you, Liberty. Amen. Not everything works for everyone. Not everything works for everyone. That's absolutely true. Not everything works for everyone. It really doesn't. But we are all called, and we all speak to specific people. And they hear us and they see us. Be patient with yourself. Absolutely, Liberty. And I'm glad you got value in that. I want to thank you, Bahamas, for being here as well. Yes, we have all contributed. Don't compare great value. You understand something about that, Coach Marianne. Yes, you do. Don't forget what you have done. Powerful. That's right, Liberty. Because let me tell you something. There are times in my life we don't stop when we don't stop because we're so busy doing other things, we're so busy being distracted. We don't even have time, to be honest with you, to recognize ourselves and recognize the accomplishments and things that we have actually done. They have been significant. And by not idolizing, but by not recognizing those things and being grateful for those things that we have done, we're not doing ourselves any service. We're not being helpful to ourselves or to anyone else by being and feeling inadequate, like we're not enough, and like we need to do so much, so much, so much. You are enough. You are enough. When I speak to that mirror, when I speak to that self-image, I know that I'm enough. And when I don't know that I'm enough, I'm still speaking to that self-image, letting it know, I appreciate you. I love you. You are iconic. There's more greatness ahead of you than there is behind you. That you're growing in all of your goals and your dreams. That you are an encourager. You are an inspirer. You are amazing. And that you have done amazing things. And you are a life changer and a game changer. And when you can do that, you set yourself up better for the success that God can use you in than the lack of success that you would have by not recalling what you did and not being able to have a story based off your lack of success to help someone else in their story towards success and being and becoming the best version of themselves. So that being said, I kind of now want to really take this in for landing, because we spent a lot of time here. But I'm so grateful for the time. I really want to thank you for allowing me to cut into your morning the way I did. Let me not go on. As I said, September 24th at 6 p.m. will be my first, I consider it my first masterclass. And I'm looking forward to you all being there. The website should be up sometime this week. I'm looking to get that done so that you can register properly there. But if you have any concerns or anything you want to talk to me about, or you want a calendar link for me to start giving you more value and unpacking that, just send me a DM, image 2025. That's image 2025. I'll see you all soon. As always, reframe your victory, reframe your value, and reframe your vision. Even if that's backwards, it's reframe your vision, reframe your value, and reframe your victory. Let's do it here in 2025 and in 2026. I'll see you all really soon. Have a wonderful weekend and stay amazing. Thank you.